licensed to beg, a gay, important fellow. In all four orders no man was so mellow with talk and dalliance. He had brought to pass the marrying of many a buxom lass, paying himself the priest and the recorder. He was a noble pillar to his order. He was familiar too and well beloved by all the Franklins everywhere he moved, and by good women of the town withal, for he had special powers confessional, as he himself would let folk understand. He had been licensed by the Pope's own hand. Full sweetly would he listen to confession, and very pleasantly absolve transgression. He could give easy penance if he knew there would be recompense and revenue. For he that to some humble order hath given, is he not by that token all but shriven? For if he gave, then of a certain, said he knew the man was penitent already. For many a man may be so hard of heart he cannot weep, though sore may be his smart. Therefore his case no tears and prayers requires. Let him give silver to the needy friars. Always he kept his tippet stuffed with knives and pins that he could give to comely wives. And of a truth he had a merry note, for he could sing and play upon the road. There he would take the prize for certainty. His neck was white as the fleur-de-lis. He was as strong as any champion. As for the inns, he knew them, every one. Their hosts and barmaids too, much better than he'd know a leper or a beggar man. For it was not for such a one as he to seek acquaintance in the company of loathsome lepers. No, not for a minute. There was no decency or profit in it. One should avoid such trash and cultivate vendors of food and folk of rich estate. And if a profit was to be expected, no courtesy of or service he neglected. There was no man so able anywhere as beggar he was quite beyond compare. He paid a fee to get his hunting ground. None of his brethren dared to come around. For though a widow might not own a shoe, so pleasant was his in principio, that he would have a farthing ere he went, his profits more than paid him back his rent. And like a puppy could he romp, yet he could work on love days with authority, for he was not a monk of threadbare collar, out of some cloister like a half-starved scholar, but rather like a master or a pope. Of double worsted was his semi-cope, and rounded like a bell hot from the press. Somewhat he lisped his words in playfulness, to make his English sweet upon his tongue, and in his harping after he had sung, deep in his head his eyes would twinkle bright as do the stars upon a frosty night. Hubert, this begging friar, was called by name. Next, all in motley garbed, a merchant came with a forked beard. High on his horse he sat, upon his head a Flanders beaver hat. His boots were buckled fair and modishly. He spoke his words with great solemnity, having in mind his gain in pounds and pence. He wished the sea, regardless of expense, kept safe from Middleburg to Orwell. Cunningly could he buy French crowns, or sell, and great sagacity in all ways showed. No man could tell of any debt he owed, so stately was his way in everything, his loans, his bargains, and his trafficking. In truth, a worthy man withal was he, and yet I know not what his name might be. There was a